Hey, what's up? Been a while. So, did you know that you can become famous just off eating food? No, neither did I, because legit, everyone does it. Not really much of a talent. Well, anyways, if you answered yes to that question, unlike I did, that means you have the same mindset as Bivo. I know you're probably wondering what in the hell is a Bivo. Bivo is this guy. This is a Bivo. I was once in your shoes and did not know who Bivo was, but I have been awoken. I've seen the light, and I'm here to spread the word of Bivo. For those who don't know Bivo, which I already said like 9 times already, he's an influencer. Sorry, older people, this video is going to be hip. Now, I don't really keep up with influencers. That's not really like at the top of the priority list for me. I guess I'm just different. I don't know. I only came across him because Friday Beers made a video with him on YouTube. I saw the video on my homepage and was curious about the title because it says Beavo doesn't chew $60 worth of McDonald's. I was curious because eating food is the show, so for him not to do it, I was like, not really much of a team player there. But in all seriousness, I was more curious about who the fuck Bivo is. When I clicked on the video, I saw he had this puffer jacket on and maybe like the most obnoxious chain I've ever seen in my life. Just Bivo in the biggest font he could find. Based on this, I assume this guy had like platinum plaques just like lining his walls, and I just missed his music somehow. Because that's like one of the few jobs where having a big ass chain with your name on it is acceptable. That is business casual in that industry. So I looked him up and found an article that explained just who Bivo is. The title of the article though was "Who is Bivo? TikToker goes viral for not chewing his food." And I was just kind of like, fucking what? What do you mean goes viral for barely chewing his food? What does that actually mean? So I read the article and it explains a lot. The first caption underneath the photo of him in the article says, "A TikToker named Bivo is becoming known for not chewing his food, which has gotten him millions of views on the app. Here's everything you need to know about him." Everything about that sentence feels wrong. How do you become known for not chewing your food? I also love this line later on in the article that clarifies, however, according to WebMD, food should be chewed so it can be swallowed easily and properly digested in the stomach. Yeah, appreciate the tip there. Thanks, WebMD. That's a good one. Yeah, you also need to breathe. Back to Bivo though. So he blew up off of this one video. This is that video.
That's what we're getting. Sweet. Right, let's get into this. Just rate everything out of 10. Whatever that is, I keep forgetting. Brussels sprout. I've seasoned very well. Very nice. They're cut up. They're banging. 7 out of 10. Pigs in blanket. Sorry, Aggie again. You know the rules. God, this is seasoned very well.
That's what did it. That's what a cultural powerhouse looks like. His swallowing is just a disaster. Like, it looks like he's swallowing ninja stars when he eats his food. Like, eating just looks like an absolutely miserable experience for him. So now that you know a bit about Bivo and just what he's capable of, here's his interview with Friday Beers that I watched. This was my introduction to Bivo. I hope it's yours too.
Eating's a big part of what you do.
Of course, of course.
I want to talk about like how it kind of all got started.
Within the first 3 videos, I had like a video that hit 1 mil already, and I'm thinking, wow, I've got something here. And then within the next 2 months, I was making enough money to like quit my job. And so my life's like a movie at the moment. We're living well. Do you know what I mean?
So this guy started eating food for like the front camera on his iPhone in his bedroom, blew up immediately. 2 months later, just quit his job. That's insane. Imagine just deciding that 2 months is like a long enough window to be like, yep, well, bills are covered. I made it. Nothing is stopping this. Then, because he doesn't forget the ones who got him there, he gives a shout out to the world.
It's a good life to live, so I want to show it to the world and just carry on making content. So
Hey, we always believe Bivo. Okay. Up to now, I'll admit, Bivo doesn't come off like that bad. I mean, it's not like I'm watching this video thinking like, wow, I hope that guy dates my daughter. But he seems simple enough. Harmless would be the word. But the first thing that made me iffy on Bivo's character, apart from his comically large Bivo chain on his chest, was this.
Well, you're here today with your girlfriend, Sophia. I want to ask about how you guys met and fell in love. And
it was.
Are you engaged now?
We will be eventually.
Oh, okay. I thought you posted something about
it. It was for TikTok, but
damn.
So the reason this made me iffy on Bivo's character is this guy went from eating food in his bedroom, filming it, to an engagement with an OnlyFans model in less than 6 months. That's the most absurd career trajectory I've ever heard of. That's like mopping floors at Denny's to becoming the president of the United States in like less than a year. Like, that's just nutty. It also just sort of helped to show that this guy might be in it for more than just like swallowing food whole on camera, as crazy as that sounds. Because, and again, may sound crazy, I don't really think they're engaged. I probably sound like an idiot because you can just listen to their back and forths here and hear that the chemistry is off the charts.
Just like, oh, what you doing? And he was just sat at home and we were like, oh, just come round if you want. So he just came round, chilled, we had some cake.
Yeah.
Cake off the cake.
Cake off the cake.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't sound like he's in physical pain listening to her say that. But I don't know. After she joins the interview, though, we do get to hear about their meet cute.
Yeah, so how did you guys like meet and how did that all come to be?
No, it was at the, so that HS, he has his like midweek madness boxing event for like TikTokers to fight each other, and it was Modine versus General G.
Okay.
And
the rest is history.
Yeah, so I knew it was going to end with my ex anyway, and we was just chatting, and yeah, we just...
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's
Can't
good.
get away from it.
I can't even begin to imagine the amount of ego that is contained within a TikTok boxing event, which is crazy because you're just fist fighting strangers in what appears to be the front foyer of a high school. I think the actual craziest thing about this whole interview is when the host asks the girlfriend if she's like trained in the Heimlich maneuver because her boyfriend doesn't chew food professionally, and neither of them have even heard of what that is.
Sophia, I have to ask, are you trained in the Heimlich maneuver?
The what?
You know, the Heimlich
I
maneuver?
don't even know what this is. I've heard people say this.
Like the, you know, like if someone's choking on food.
So if I'm choking, you're going to save me pretty much.
Yeah.
Kiss of life.
It's one thing to go like your entire life without ever crossing paths with the Heimlich maneuver, like that's insane as it is. But for someone whose job is to barely chew food, that's got to be like the one safety protocol you have in place. That and like making sure your food is like fully cooked are like the only two real like codes of conduct that need to be followed in this line of work. I also feel like for a guy who's known for like barely chewing his food, like he chews his food a decent amount. Like watch him crush this McChicken.
With a big bite. Right.
It's just a different ballgame.
God's gift.
I could never do what you do. I would die.
He takes like 4 bites of it, and like granted he's like off the clock here, you know, he's doing casual shit, but, like camera's on, you should be barely chewing if that's like your entire brand. Anyways, then Bivo starts giving life advice for some reason.
What's the story of Bivo? What's the message that you want people to take away from it?
Just don't settle for less in life. If you've got fire, if you've got the motivation, just stick with it, no matter how old you are. And yeah, just keep fighting, no matter what anyone says, no matter how old you are. If you enjoy doing something and you see a potential, just keep going, don't give up, because the only way it's not going to happen is if you give up.
I mean, I can't imagine someone less qualified to be giving this advice. Him giving a speech on persistence as someone who quit his job like 2 months after getting any semblance of success is like Vanilla Ice giving advice on how to make it in the music industry, right? Just like not the right guy for the job. But seriously, where's this guy getting this advice from? Did someone tell Bivo like 2 weeks in, like, hey kid, you're never gonna make it in this biz? Like, he has no experience with the advice he's giving. He's just saying what he assumes he probably should be saying when a successful person, if you want to call him that, is asked for advice. He then goes on to talk about his slogan. Yes, Bivo has his own slogan.
You know the rules. What are the rules?
I'll tell you after.
Tell me after. All right, deal. You got it on your arm, right?
Yeah. I've actually patented this now in England.
You painted it?
Patented it.
it.
So yeah, anyone in England trying to use my saying, you get sued.
This guy got his own saying just tatted on his arm. There is so much crazy about that. I mean, for one, how about it being the font of like a YouTube gaming channel? Just a font that can in no way age well as a tattoo. Like, he may as well have got it in wingdings. Even crazier is that he got this thing tatted and patented, even though it's like very clearly a ripoff of like Dave Portnoy's Pizza Reviews, which is a show where he eats food quickly and says one bite, everyone knows the rules. The audacity to blatantly rip off somebody's slogan and then like go on this show and be like, by the way, if you say it, I will sue you. It's like, dude, nobody's trying to bite your style. Wink, wink. He's the guy that chews stuff. There's layers to this. I hate that I'm still in this same video, but I'm gonna show more because it gets worse. So he says he's got merch coming out with that slogan on it, which I obviously won't say because I don't need this guy like winging a subpoena at me from across the pond. But then he says he might also drop something else.
But yeah, and I've got merch coming out. I might release the 6 rules, like the six commandments.
Love that he says he might reveal his 6 commandments. Like, commandments are like tenets that people like structure their life around. Like, they live based off of these commandments that are in place. And imagine the one guy who has them being like, meh, I might tell you, I might not, I don't know. I just picture Moses being like that. God himself has trusted me with his word. He's given us 10 commandments to follow in order to live prosperous lives and gain entry into the gates of heaven. Oh, sick. That's huge. Can't wait to hear them. But I don't know if I want to say them. Oh my god, why did it have to be this fucking guy? But no, Bivo doesn't actually think he's like a religious figure, does he? Like, surely Bivo, of all people, is more grounded than that.
6 commandments, big following. You know, that reminds me of JC.
Jesus Christ.
Are you coming for his throne? You gonna turn into a religious icon?
I never know. I think if you actually Google it, to make a religion, you only need 3 people. There we go. You know the rules.
Yeah, you know the. Well, that's.
Listen, I gave.
The fact he knows this means he had to Google like the requirements of forming a religion. There's no reason to do this unless A, you're planning on leading a religious cult, or B, you're hammered with your friends and the question's brought up. Someone's like, dude, like if you were God, like I would fucking follow you, dude. Like you're the shit. Like you're a cool guy. And the fact that he doesn't deny the Jesus Christ comparison may be the craziest comparison someone could ever get. This guy got 1 million views on a video of him eating food, and he's like, should I lead the world? Should I be doing that? The video ends after that, and Bivo, the guy famous for eating food, does not even come remotely close to finishing his food, which is maybe the funniest part of all of this. So now you know Bivo, the Messiah. I had to check some of his TikToks after this to see like what it is the crowds just can't seem to resist about Bivo. A lot of them are just him eating. That is still the moneymaker for him, but he dabbles into, I don't know, lifestyle content. I don't fucking care what it's called. I want to start with this one because it makes me laugh for a few reasons. So it's a TikTok of him debuting his new set of veneers. For context, this guy's teeth used to be pretty mangled. Maybe not the nicest thing I've said, but they were in rough shape. You can see it in his earlier videos. In order to get his new veneers, Bivo set up a GoFundMe page for them. Now, to me, that's hilarious because he's like setting up a donation page on a site where people use like raise money for loved ones with diseases or people who are like trying to make products or something, like invent something new for the world that they think could like benefit people. So they're asking for money to help do that. And then he's on here asking for money for new teeth because he wants new teeth. Here's the bio of his GoFundMe. It says, hello, my name is Brandon Beavis, known as Bivo on TikTok. I've always been known for having big teeth, and that is part of the reason why I get a lot of attention online. Recently, I was pushed over by an apparent fan of mine, which caused me to lose my 2 teeth. I'm seeing if I can raise money to get them fixed, as I don't even want to leave the house at the moment. I don't know what the future holds for me, as I cannot afford to get them done. I hate how they look, and I really don't know what to do. All help is appreciated. Thank you. Hey, Ben here. I just want to call myself out before you do because I'm not going to mention in this next part the fact that Bivo was pushed over by an apparent fan, and I'm mad at myself for having not done it because that's maybe the funniest thing in there. What do you mean you got pushed over by a fan? An apparent fan. Like he thought he was a fan, but then pushing him, he's like, you know what? Maybe that guy doesn't like me that much. I just wanted to hop on here, call myself out because, yeah, that's funny. Now, I don't know if that's true, any of that. All of it might be true, and I get it. Having bad teeth is an embarrassing thing. I just find it hard to believe that he's so embarrassed he doesn't want to leave the house, but he wants to blow up on TikTok, doing whatever. It seems like someone that is truly that embarrassed of their teeth would not go out of their way to make mouth-related content exclusively. I saw a comment that says it's crazy he'd spend that much money on something he doesn't even use, which is hilarious because it's true. That's like a handicapped person being like a sneakerhead. Like, you can do it. Doesn't really serve a function, but you can do it. Now, onto the TikTok, and this is like mostly just hilarious because of how it starts.
This is the reveal.
He's trying to debut his teeth in like a new dramatic way and everything, and he just starts the video with them not covered up at all. He's like, oh fuck. You can see them instantly, then he covers his mouth like we didn't just see them. He could have easily edited that part out. It's like the first half second of the video, but he just didn't and just threw it up. The next one is actually the first Bivo TikTok I watched, not that I've seen a lot, other than the steak and potatoes one, where he's like, big ups, potatoes. So this one's gonna be tough for me to even like say. He's on a date with his girlfriend and a girl he had a fake relationship with who he fake cheated on, and these two girls were gonna fight about it in a TikTok boxing match. That's why I say this is like the death of culture. Like, that is an outrageous group of words I just put together. But anyways, he's out for dinner with these two like quasi celebrity girlfriends or whatever the hell they are, and he gets this like massive plate of food placed in front of him, and Bivo, always the unabashed gentleman, lets them have fries and white rice. Gives it to them in their own little bowl too, like they can't touch his.
Have some chips for the video. Big up the chips, big up the Indians.
Like, here you go, ladies. Here's 2 of the most bland, unseasoned side dishes that exist. Dig in. He also says big ups to everything, like he's just like the most blessed person. This guy has to be one of the most unimpressive prophet figures I'm familiar with.
Big up the Indians, big up the sticky rice.
I like the big ups to sticky rice, though. That's a hilarious thing to say. Big ups to sticky rice. Then, like halfway through the video, the audio just cuts out. I'm assuming because of the very loud background music, he made no attempt to cover up at all.
4 out of 10. Yeah,
Rice.
But remember how in the GoFundMe he talked about how he was like so embarrassed he didn't even want to leave the house? Yeah, he's just not the same guy anymore. Those teeth did wonders for him.
What's up in TikTok? Listen, Bivo here. I was really come on here, innit, and just say that, again, big up the hate, because I love the comments, I love the interaction, And yeah, no, it's going really well. I'm living in LA. Well, living it up in LA.
Big up to hate. He loves the comments. I'm sure if his teeth still looked like he was grinding rocks with them, he wouldn't love them as much. Then he shows off that he got Sophia, his girlfriend's name, tatted on his wrist.
I got Sophia's name tattooed on me yesterday. She loves it. I'm going to flip the camera now. Yeah, she's a lucky lady. She's currently sleeping, but got her name tattooed on me. I'm going to get the date of when we met underneath it, so it's going to be special.
Good attitude here, like, hey bruv, I got your name tatted on me, so like appreciate it, right? Like a Beavo, so like, yeah, feel lucky, you know, like big ups wrist tattoos, big ups Sophia, big ups. Yeah, we've come a long way from the GoFundMe where he's too embarrassed to leave the house. Speaking of the good old days, I guess before Bivo was getting like a little notoriety for his work, which as we all know takes about 2 months of solid effort, he was still scratching and clawing his way into the TikTok game. So, like all ethical people do, he did a man on the street interview where he says that he's homeless, which is a lie.
I'm here with
Brandon Beavis, known as Bevo.
and what's been going on?
Not too great, Aggie. I've recently become homeless, currently in Central. I sort of on the verge of blaming TikTok. Live with my mum. She's come out of a divorce and she's with her new partner and she's decided to choose her new partner over me. So that's why I'm homeless now. Not to mention my teeth situation. I weren't looking great. Yeah, a lot's gone on, Aggie, to be honest. And I respect this man. I picked up the phone. We've had our issues. And he said I can help him. And he helped me out by accommodating me. And yeah, here we are.
Yeah, this was all apparently just some lie. He said he did it for clout.
I went homeless for one day. I went to stay with Aggie and then I moved back in with my dad. So my mum did kick me out.
So that wasn't real?
No, I was homeless. But I wasn't homeless. I never was homeless.
I thought you was really homeless.
No.
Oh my days, bro! I actually thought you was homeless.
No.
There's no way a
But you
man
gotta make a
lied
bang,
about
so I fell off and I had to
lied
come
about
back with a
being
bang, so
homeless.
I had to just bash these stories out. I'll be real.
Bro,
Listen,
I thought you was full on homeless, bro.
And the
I
beef.
didn't think that.
I
thought
That's what I usually do too, whenever things aren't really going my way. Just tell everyone I'm homeless. Parents kick me out. Just lie, say I live on the streets. Usually works. Never seems to fail. Been treated very kindly when I do that. Things like this just like don't sit right with me at all. One, because you're just blatantly lying to people about struggling when you're not. Who do you possibly think you are that you can tell a bunch of people online that you're homeless and just be lying to them? Two, he's just making his parents look horrible online based off a lie. If I were his parents and I saw that, I'd just be like, hey, Bivo, my son, what the fuck was that about? I'm not mad at this guy for making these videos and getting popular off them. Like whatever, good for him. I'm mad that we have gotten to a point in society where we can like allow this to happen. Where someone can become popular for barely chewing food. Not chewing food, just barely chewing food. No joke, when I first watched him and I read the headline of that article, like barely chews food, and I watched him like eat his steak and potatoes, I was like, he chews like 4 times. Like I was expecting him to take like 1 bite and just get it down. It's not that impressive. But no, like he's obviously doesn't care about chewing food. He was using it all as like ladders to get more and more famous. Like he just wants to be, now he's like doing all this fake drama shit with the girlfriend in the boxing match. TikTok drama is just like the newest version of like a long line of all these different mediums where people just sell fake drama about their lives to get rich and popular. Really started with Hollywood, then we got the WWE, then we got reality TV, and now we have TikTok. It's the most like the WWE though. You have these people usually in soccer jerseys just cutting promos on each other, just like dissing each other back and forth via TikTok, and then meeting up for a fight, and again, the front foyer of a high school. Then the next week they just have a new feud with somebody. They're just always having feuds. Who has this many on-the-go rivalries with just like people? They're like if wrestlers were just in no way masculine. I know I just sound like a jealous asshole because my videos get like millions of views less than he does, which I probably partly am, but I'm mostly just blown away that this has become enough for someone to buy like a diamond chain the size of my foot that has their name on it. Like this is all they have to do. I recognize that I'm contributing to this by talking about him, and I can live with that as long as people just recognize how like untalented this person is. That's why I'm calling this video the death of culture, because the fact that I know this guy's name is an absolute red flag for the state of the culture in the world. His name is Bivo, for fuck's sake.
It's the end of culture. Culture's over, everybody. We lost.
And hey, who am I to declare that culture's dead because I'm just like a nobody sitting in a room in my parents' house making a video? But I may as well share my opinion on it because we're letting nobodies with no talent and no contributions actually define what it is. I probably sound harsh on Beeves, but if this was a kid who just enjoyed showing people online that he can eat food really quickly without chewing, just sitting in his room, I'd probably think very differently of him. Leave It to Bevo here is not doing that. And yes, that was a Leave It to Beaver reference, a show I've obviously never seen. This guy does it to become relevant, and the fact fact that our culture views this as relevant is kind of the big issue here. No, I don't know him personally, so I guess I can't say he doesn't feel that way, but he used a GoFundMe to get veneers. He lied about his parents kicking him out of his house and being homeless. He then got a Beavo chain almost immediately and a tattoo with a ripped off slogan that he trademarked, and he strictly wears designer now, I realized. That doesn't just scream like, hey, I just love doing this for fun. That screams like, hey, I made money. This video is getting too long, but there's one other video of Bivo that I really want to show. It's a little longer, so I'm going to do that in a separate video next week. I have a lot of thoughts on it. The Bivo saga continues. I'm either insanely jealous of this guy or just genuinely upset that I know who he is, and I'm not sure which it is yet. But anyways, that is it for this one. Appreciate it. Here is my plug. Do you hear about Steve? No, what's up with Steve? Second coming of Christ. Can you believe that? Steve, of all people. Yeah, but thanks for watching, fam. Big ups to the viewers, big ups to everybody, big ups sticky rice, big ups wrist tattoos, big ups steak and potatoes, big ups on seasoned fries, and yeah, was that good? I feel like that was like really bad. I don't know. Anyways, big ups for watching. Yeah, peace out.